share, subscribe, leave a comment, please. And again, I appreciate all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for the chance and opportunity because I really enjoy doing this. I really do. But since I had to start this damn thing again because StreamYard is tripping, I'm on my phone. And I kind of hate when I have to do this with just one phone in my hand. So let me so how y'all doing? So, getting back to where I left off before, Chattanooga, Tennessee. It was discovered the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation charged hundreds of people with DUIs despite the claims that they were completely sober at the time. That's some foul ass shit right there. That is foul. Sober DUIs are when people are pulled over, arrested, and charged with DUI, even though they are stone cold sober. Drivers are given field sobriety tests where they walk in a straight line, but some people may have mobility issues that make it hard to balance, or um, what you call that? Vertigo, which you may stumble. Many of the people charged with sober DUI say the slow arrest and legal process has destroyed their lives. Blood tests and other drug tests can take months to come back with results compared to a breathalyzer test. We spoke with Chattanooga attorney Wednesday, who says he was dealt with several cases of his clients being charged with a sober DUI. Numbers from Tennessee Bureau of Investigation show there were over 600 sober DUI arrests in the last 7 years. That means after initial charge by police, tests revealed no alcohol or drugs in their system. One of the arrests involved David Dutton of Murfreesboro. He was pulled over for having a tail light out and accused by police of crossing into his shoulder. Officers performed a field sobriety test. Dutton told deputies he didn't drink and had back issues that affect his balance, but officers still arrested him and charged him with a DUI. State Representative Laura Russell contacted Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Someone he knows was recently arrested for DUI while completely sober. This is unreal. According to the data sent back by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, 609 people were charged with DUI whose alcohol and drug tests ultimately came back negative since 2017. Representative Russell then sent a letter to TBI director asking the agency to post lab results for all DUI arrests in Tennessee incident-based reporting system. We can work as hard as we can to keep drunk drivers off the road, but we also can keep stats to make sure we don't have a problem with the testing and the training. Here in Chattanooga, attorney Robin Flores said he has represented clients in lawsuits who were wrongfully charged. The issue is whether or not the officer manufactured probable cause to make an arrest, and that's the gray line here. Probable cause is a very low threshold. Flores tells us that Hamilton County officers normally do not breathalyze. He believes it's because those tests are more susceptible to challenge. When officers opt for a blood test, they have to wait 3 months to get the results back. If the DA wants the results tested for drugs, it can take longer. It adds to the stress of having to take off work, having to come to court, sitting around all day or all morning just to have it passed one more time because there's no blood work back. Representative Russell said he also plans to work with the State Administrative Office of Courts on its new 75 million database to make sure dismissed DUI cases are clearly posted or that the information can be easily given to the public if requested. That is some bullshit. They do anything. Oh, where is it? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Right here.
Carriage of justice.
Sober drivers charged with DUIs are reacting in shock to what WSMV4 Investigates has uncovered tonight. Good evening. I'm Lauren Lowry.
I'm Tracy Cornett.
And I'm Marius Payton. As part of our sobering problem investigation, we've analyzed never-before-seen TBI data.
Chief Investigative Reporter Jeremy Finley found more than 600 Tennesseans have been arrested for DUI and were completely sober.
It's something you notice almost immediately.
Good morning.
In the body camera footage of officers approaching Xavier Gray.
Go ahead and turn the car off for me, okay?
His hands are in the air.
First of all, I'm scared of the police.
You got anything to drink tonight?
Shit, we all scared of the police.
Drivers who've spoken with WSMV4 Investigates.
Where my
wasn't
cigarettes?
concerned at first.
Well, I'm gonna run you through some first body tests, just make sure you're good driving, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I know I'm not under the influence of anything.
And he thought he performed well until this.
Placing you on the wrist for driving under the influence, okay?
I don't even drink or anything. That's crazy. I work for a living driving a dump truck. And this is what I do. This is my whole livelihood. I was really afraid about losing my license.
Gray is the latest person we found to be charged with a DUI whose blood work would come back showing he was completely sober. For months,
Wow.
back and forth with the TBI, asking for blood work data that shows just how often it's happening in Tennessee. And it turns out we weren't the only ones asking.
I've seen the news stories that you all did.
State Representative Lowell Russell had seen our sobering problems investigations. And after one of his constituents was arrested for a DUI, while he was completely sober, he asked the TBI for the data as well. After months of requests, the TBI finally produced the data. Turns out it wasn't dozens, but more than 600 Tennesseans, 609 to be exact. Innocent drivers, totally sober, charged with DUI. For perspective, if all of the sober drivers charged with DUI went to the Ryman, they would take up more than half of the seats in the upper balcony. I just wonder what you think about that.
It's a miscarriage
This is
of justice.
unreal.
They're doing it everywhere around Tennessee, man.
Nobody wants drunk drivers on the road, ever. But what does it say that we keep finding sober people being arrested for DUI?
Facts.
I have heard of those on a very, very limited scale, and those are, of course, tragic for everyone involved.
Tragic cases that lets drivers like Gray know he is hardly alone.
You know what's so scary is just thinking about how hard I work to stay out of trouble, right? And then to have something like this happen.
Jeremy, the
is
implications of this,
unreal.
they're just so widespread. Hundreds of innocent people charged with crimes they didn't even commit.
Yeah, Lauren, we just obtained this data on Friday, so now we're sharing it with prosecutors and lawmakers to try to get their reaction. Representative Russell says he wants the TBI to create a database for all crimes in Tennessee, showing what a person was charged with and whether or not they were convicted. We know sober people charged with DUI often have their mugshots appear online. If this database is created, it at least would be a public record showing what the crimes against them were dismissed. Marius?
Jeremy, you keep pushing on this story. Thank you. Well,
That is a damn shame. 600 sober drivers arrested and charged with DUI. And when the tests come back, they were, oh shit. They were not, they didn't have anything in their system. So now they suing down in Tennessee. That's a damn shame. Here we go.
Middle Tennessee drivers charged with DUI when they are completely sober.
Well, Fox 17 was first to tell you about this kind of justice gone wrong last February, and now the drivers are fighting back.
We tracked several of these cases and discovered that at least 2 of these drivers are now taking action against the police departments that charged them.
Well, those drivers telling Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino their efforts are costing at least one city some cold hard cash.
Sir, I have not drinking.
But the pleas from middle school teacher Jeff Adams didn't work after 2 Goodlettsville police officers pulled him over. Neither did telling investigators about his double hip replacement that makes walking a straight line shaky.
Do you have any medical problems that would impair your judgment?
No, not judgment. Standing, I've had 2 hip replacements, so it is hard to stand.
Do you drink occasionally or?
I don't drink at all.
In fact, Adams initially offered to take a field sobriety test, confident he'd pass.
Little did I know, as soon as I got out of the car, I was pretty much going to jail because he seemed very excited that I said I would do a field sobriety test.
But Adams misjudged his own ability. He then hoped a breathalyzer test would exonerate him on the spot.
I don't drink.
Murfreesboro police arresting a man.
Fox 17 News
Wow,
uncovered in our previous
unbelievable.
report that the majority of law enforcement agencies in Middle Tennessee no longer use breathalyzers on scene, including Goodlettsville Police. Police say blood draws are more accurate and that breathalyzers don't detect drugs anyway.
The reason you're being arrested right now?
Yeah, probable cause.
You showed enough signs of impairment on the test for me to make an arrest.
Adams immediately lost his part-time job as an Uber driver and feared damage to his reputation as a teacher.
Wow, unbelievable.
5 traffic infractions in my life, and then to be arrested for a DUI, and you have to explain that to your own kids, and worry about it getting out to the school system.
After 5 long months, Adams' alcohol and drug tests came back negative, and a judge dismissed the case. But Adams says the emotional and financial toll are far from over.
It was the most
This
stressful,
is
traumatic
unbelievable.
experience I've ever had.
Data obtained by Fox 17 News shows judges dismissed about 12% of DUI cases in Tennessee this year. But new numbers from TBI reveal it's a bigger problem than you may think. We found more than 600 sober drivers, people who did not drink but were charged with DUI since 2017.
What's the first this morning?
Adams decided to take legal action. This letter from his lawyer to the Goodlettsville city attorney says the city violated Adams' constitutional rights. So Adams demanded a $75,000 settlement. The city ultimately paid Adams $5,000 to avoid a lawsuit. If this had gone to court, it wouldn't necessarily...
That's all it took was 5,000. No, we going to court. No, we going to trial. I done lost my job. You done said I was drinking and I wasn't. We going all the way.
Have been an open and shut case just because Adams' alcohol and drug tests proved he was sober. Goodlettsville police say the officers still had probable cause to arrest him because they say he performed poorly on the sobriety test.
It ruins their lives.
DUI defense attorney Scott Kimberly believes officers need more training to consider other factors that could affect a field sobriety test, like medical problems, age, and even exhaustion.
People look at me and they ask, how can this happen? And my answer is it happens all the time. What we have to do as a community is ask for greater accountability and stronger training.
There's no repercussion, no consequence. There's a problem here. There's a pattern, especially when I found out that I'm not the only one.
Goodlettsville police sent Fox 17 News a statement that reads in part, DUI and standardized field sobriety testing are not an exact science. We would like to be perfect, but we are not, the process is not, and the world is not. We have performed training both last year and this year in an effort to make us as good as we can possibly be. In a similar case, a 76-year-old man I interviewed in Rutherford County was also charged with DUI when tests ultimately proved he was not drinking. He's now suing that county for $400,000. That case is still making its way through federal court, and I'll be following it and will certainly let you know what happens. I'm Kelly Avellino for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
I hope he win. I sure do. I hope he win. But I wouldn't have settled for no $5,000. Cause shit, the attorney still get what, 33%, so you only got like $1,000. We going all the way.
If you have falsely arrested him, you're gonna be in trouble.
Okay, ma'am.
I promise you, because I know my son.
Body camera footage shows a mother's outrage as her son is arrested for a crime he did not commit. Tonight, 2 THP troopers are being sued in federal court.
They arrested a Tennessee man for DUI who was sober the entire time. It's the latest development in Jeremy Finley's sobering problem investigations, where he's finding sober Tennesseans arrested for DUI. I need you to get back in your vehicle for me.
Okay, I will.
Ask yourself this about your mom.
What's the problem?
If you'd been arrested on the interstate and your mother happened to drive by and see you,
Why has my son been arrested?
For driving under the influence, ma'am.
He has not been drinking, sir.
what would your mom say? Well, in the case of Thomas Manis, who'd just been arrested for DUI while claiming he was sober,
Get anything to drink today?
his mom had plenty to say.
I'm just saying, if you have falsely arrested him, you're going to be in trouble.
Okay, ma'am.
I promise you, because I know my son.
And it turns out Mother does know best. Manis was arrested and charged with DUI, but his blood work shows he was completely sober. No alcohol, no drugs. And now he's suing both the state troopers who arrested him, citing unlawful seizure and false arrest.
As he should.
And it's what's once again captured on police body camera before the field sobriety test is even given that raises more questions about why police are arresting innocent people, charging them with a crime they didn't commit. Real quick, you may remember, as part of our sobering problem investigations, we showed you what a Rutherford County deputy said about a pool player he just pulled over for a DUI. Take a listen.
Never known a sober person to shoot much pool. Oh, I know.
He arrested that driver, who ended up being sober too. Now, watch what is said about Thomas Manis last December. He was pulled over, not for swerving or speeding, but for having too dark of tinted windows in Monroe County in East Tennessee. Before the field sobriety test even begins, Trooper Billy Yates Matoy says he knows a relative of Manis's and has a suspicion about Manis.
Probably got weed, probably high. Yeah. I guarantee you smoked weed, bud. When was the last time you smoked marijuana?
Not anytime soon. I'd say probably about 4 years ago.
So if I done a blood test on you right now, come back in this.
They've come back clear.
According to Manis's lawsuit,
This is a damn shame.
each field sobriety test, but still was charged.
Am I in custody?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Arrested?
Yes, sir.
For,
Under arrested for driving under the influence.
oh my gosh. Is there any way I can do a breathalyzer and just...
We don't do breathalyzers, sir.
You can imagine what his mom had to say about that.
Did you give him a breathalyzer?
Man, we don't do breathalyzers.
Did you give him a... Then this is not right.
Ma'am?
How can you do this?
And sometimes it's not what you hear or see that says a lot. Because after the field sobriety test, Trooper Schreiner goes behind the car to talk to Trooper Yates Matoy and turns his body cam audio off. For 30 seconds, what they talk about, we don't know. And when the tow truck driver arrives to pick up Manis's vehicle, the driver asks Schreiner this question. And the audio is once again turned off.
Wow.
Wow, so Jeremy, can state troopers do that? Just turn off their audio?
Well, Marius, we asked the Tennessee Highway Patrol that. A spokesman said they can't comment because of the pending litigation. So I asked for their policy on turning off audio and why they don't use breathalyzers anymore. And we are waiting to get that. Once we get it, we'll let you know. You might have noticed in that story that we didn't speak to Manis. His attorney, Scott Canabos, said they couldn't comment because the case was pending.
Wow, they have arrested over 600 people who were sober and charged them with DUI. And when the tests come back, they are sober. This in Tennessee. You can't make this up. You can't make this up.
Driver is coming forward tonight saying he is the second person to be falsely charged with a DUI by a state trooper. We first showed you last week how Trooper Billy Yates Matoy arrested a driver for DUI who was later found to be completely sober. Now, Chief Investigative Reporter Jeremy Finley found another sober driver arrested by the same trooper. It's the latest discovery in his sobering problem investigations that show how sober Tennesseans are getting arrested for DUIs.
I live here. Keith Von Susten had just pulled into his East Tennessee home when state troopers approached with questions.
How much you had to drink tonight?
Not much. I'm not drinking much. I'm not being smart. I'm not drinking much.
One of the troopers wrote Von Susten had crossed the center line, had a strong odor of alcohol, bloodshot eyes, and a thick, slurred speech. But Von Susten believed he was sober and disputed that he committed a driving violation warranting a field sobriety test. So he had this to say to Trooper William Yates Matoy.
So you don't want to do any field sobriety testing?
No, sir.
All right. You under arrest for DUI?
Why is that? Wait, don't do that yet.
I'm doing it right now.
Von Susten would be arrested and charged with DUI. But look at his blood alcohol level from that night, 0.67, legal to drive. We reached him by phone.
What's humiliating is when you get a mugshot and you get your name in a paper.
Von Susten's arrest would make him the second sober driver found by WSMV4 Investigates to be arrested for DUI after being assessed by Trooper Yates Matoy. He and another trooper are now being sued for the December 2023 arrest of sober driver Thomas Manis. Yates Matoy is recorded on body camera making this assessment about Manis before giving him a field sobriety test.
Probably got weed, probably high. Yeah. I guarantee you smoke weed, buddy.
Now, listen to what Yates Matoy is recorded saying to his fellow trooper after Von Susten refuses to do a field sobriety test.
Sorry for snatching that dude up. As soon as they tell me no, right? I go in attack mode.
That attack mode has earned Yates Matoy several honors for his DUI arrests. We shared our findings with the THP and asked for an interview. We want to know if the THP is tracking to see if DUI arrests result in guilty convictions or if a driver is found to be sober. We haven't heard back yet on that request. Von Susten says it took nearly a year to clear his name, but he doesn't regret refusing to perform the field sobriety test. You've seen what the trooper says at the end of the video.
As soon as they tell me no, right? I go in attack mode.
What do you think about that?
I think that Trooper Matoy is one of these type of officers that I'm not to be questioned, and what I say goes. And whenever I did not comply with what he wanted, it made him anger.
Jeremy Finley, WSMV4 Investigates.
Von Susten's charges of DUI and reckless driving were dismissed. If you'd like to see all of our sobering problem investigations, we've got them for you.
That's a damn shame. They ruining people's lives down in Tennessee. How do you arrest sober drivers and then charge them with DUI? Then you gotta wait months to get your results back. That's why y'all paying. I think this is the last video.
I certainly regret that, and I really deeply I hurt for what they went through.
That is an apology from the police chief of Goodlettsville to innocent people arrested by his police department.
A WSMV4 investigation uncovered multiple DUI arrests dismissed from arrests, all made by one officer in Goodlettsville.
So it's the latest discovery by Chief Investigative Reporter Jeremy Finley into how you can be sober and still get a DUI.
Performing a field sobriety test is not what Jeff Adams expected last September as he was heading to his job as a teacher in Brentwood.
I figured I could pass it because I wasn't drinking. I was on my way to school. It was 5:52 a.m.
Video recorded by an officer shows Adams didn't do well standing on one leg. Still, Adams couldn't believe what happened next. Listen.
Sir,
I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs.
And Adams wasn't lying. 4 months later, his blood test results show no alcohol, no drugs. But the arresting officer, Noah Warner, wrote he showed several signs of impairment.
I don't think it's safe to operate a motor vehicle. Can I call my school to let them know that I need a substitute?
The case against Adams was ultimately dismissed.
Wow.
The damage, though, was already done.
It was the most traumatic experience to know that I'm being arrested. I'm about to be fingerprinted, mugshotted. All a man's got is his reputation
Fact.
and his name. And it's getting smeared. And I didn't appreciate it.
Chokes you up a little bit.
It does.
And a WSMV4 investigation found this isn't the only DUI arrest made by Officer Werner that was dismissed. Turns out Adams is the third sober driver to be arrested by Werner for a DUI last year.
There's a problem. There's a pattern. That's what this is.
I certainly regret that, and I really deeply I hurt for what they went through.
Chief Gary Goodwin is Werner's boss at Goodlettsville Police. If you had just one case, that would be one thing. But in this officer's case, you have 3 people who were sober and arrested for DUI. So what does that tell you?
It doesn't necessarily tell me anything. Obviously, it's concerning. You hate it for these 3 people.
Goodwin admits he's frustrated by the situation. Look at the reports. All 3 drivers, including Adams, showed multiple signs of impairment. In one case, a driver had a half-empty beer can in the driver's side door, but they were all found to be sober.
I'm looking at them and I'm saying, I'm not sure how I fix this.
And an ongoing WSMV4 investigation shows it's not just Goodlettsville. Police are arresting sober people for DUIs all over the mid-state.
Wow.
And because of the backlog at the TBI for alcohol and toxicology reports, we found some innocent drivers are waiting 8 months to get results back. And in many times, sober drivers are asking for breathalyzers. Listen. But they didn't. You can see in the video, Adams was taken to get a blood draw instead. After that, he was taken to jail. Why not use a breathalyzer each time? That would at least tell you if that person had been drinking alcohol.
So many people that we see now, they're under the influence, but it's not necessarily alcohol.
And a blood test, which takes longer to get back, is the only way to know for sure.
I just put myself in their position, and how would I feel if this happened to me?
Adams knows how it feels each and every time he drives past where he was arrested.
Sometimes I'll refer to it as the scene of the crime because it was a crime against me.
Jeff Adams kept his job as a teacher. He was not suspended. The additional problem is that he also drives for Uber, and because of his arrest, Uber suspended him, and he estimates he lost out on $15,000 in potential earnings.
Jeremy, this story was so hard to watch. So is Goodlettsville Police doing anything different as a result of this?
Well, the chief says they're reviewing these cases to see if there's anything they need to be doing differently in their field sobriety testing. But the real challenge is that there are so many real drunk drivers, police can't take the risk of not arresting somebody, even if they suspect them of being intoxicated. But these drivers are angry and they are asking for change. Lauren?
Okay, Jeremy, thanks for always covering this for us. We'll look forward to the next update.
That is a damn shame that the police are charging sober drivers with DUIs, and when it come back, they wasn't drinking. This is insane. What is going on? What's happening here? People lost their jobs, their reputation. I don't know. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. What y'all think? I mean, man, I was just blown away by this. Yep, that's it. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I'm about to do Malcolm Jamal Warner, The Sacrifice. See, be right back.